Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Osil and it's time for another update on my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. So I have my palettes here with me. I will say, unfortunately, I still have issues with dry skin and most likely an allergic reaction right underneath my eyes. So even though the last few days I've been able to use some more eye makeup, it's just been challenging to be able to reach my goals on these eyeshadows this time because yeah, just throughout the whole year I've been struggling with different kinds of skin issues in my face. So I've just tried my best to let my skin breathe and try to calm down the irritations, and that means I also have had to give makeup a little bit of a break. That always kills my spirit a little bit because I just enjoy so much applying my makeup. So I'm a little bit bummed about that, but I've tried. I have reached, well, I've almost reached a goal like I always do. There's just something about, I don't know what's wrong with me, but almost all the time when I'm about to do an update, and Mondays are just usually the days where it's better to film. So on the days that I'm supposed to do these updates, I usually have like 1 or 2 uses left on an eyeshadow before I reach my goal, and it's just always so frustrating. But like I did last time, I'm probably going to do that with at least one of the eyeshadows. Even though I have 1 more use left, I'm going to roll it out and make sure to use it 1 more time. But just for me to get some new inspiration and to be able to actually work on 5 eyeshadows for the next month, I'm going to do it that way. But before we get into that eyeshadow, let's begin with the least used eyeshadow this month, which is the one from Milani, the Most Loved Mattes palette. I have this darkest middle shade. I've only used this 9 times. My goal is to use it 20 times, but I do think it's pretty good considering the fact that I rolled it in last time. I think 9 uses is fairly good, also considering the fact that I haven't used makeup nearly as much as I wanted to this month. So I've tried to incorporate it almost every time I've done my makeup, really. So which means I haven't done my makeup too much this month, but I enjoy this shade. It's just a cool matte brown that works really nice in the outer corner. I've pretty much only used it to like deepen my eyeshadow look in the outer corner, and that's it. But I do think it would be really nice to use it as an eyeliner as well, so I might try that out for the coming month. Then we have the Tati palette, Volume 1 Textured Neutrals. This, I also feel like I've used a lot, but so far I've only used it 12 times. It's the Metallic Ritual shade, which is this one. Doesn't look like too much progress, but I feel like 12 uses is still pretty good. It has made me use this palette a little bit more, sort of forced me to use more of the eyeshadows in this palette. I'm happy about that, and I do really enjoy this shade as well. Oh, I forgot to swatch the shades. Let me show you. Alright, so at the top there we have the dark matte brown from the Milani palette, and then we have the Metallic Rituals from Tati. So yeah, I'm just going to continue to use this. I've used it pretty much only as a lid shade. I do enjoy it, really. It's a fairly neutral, more on the cooler side, metallic brown shade. It's just easy to incorporate into most looks, really. So I'm going to continue with this one and with this one, and the next one I'm going to show you is the BeautyBay Nude Mania eyeshadow quad, and it is this rose gold-ish, darker rose gold eyeshadow right here. So this is what that one looks like. As you can see, it has created a little bit of like a hard pan sort of. It's probably because I mainly use my finger to apply this eyeshadow. It's so soft and buttery. It's amazing. The quality is so good on these BeautyAct eyeshadow palettes. And there you have that one. So the usage on this one is 13. I have a goal of 20 uses on all of these eyeshadows, by the way, if I didn't say. And so this is also going to be staying in my project for a little while longer, as well as the one from Huda Beauty. I was considering maybe rolling this out now because I only have 2 more uses left of the shadow in the Huda Beauty New Nude palette. I have a goal of 20 uses. I've used this for 18 times, but just because I decided to roll out one eyeshadow that still has 1 use left, and I know that I'm most likely going to be struggling with this eye dryness and irritation for a while longer. Nothing really seems to help. I'm probably going to be, it is going to take me a while longer to get some usage out of these shades. So therefore, if my skin was completely normal, I probably would have rolled out both of these shades this time. But because of my struggles, I'm not. So I'm talking about the Play shade, the peachy matte shade right here. You can see some wear on this one. I really enjoy using this either as like a transitional shade or a crease shade or a lid shade. I use it on my lower lash line. It's just very versatile, beautiful, light, natural peachy shade. So I'm gonna have that in for a little while longer. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be, I've reached my goal by my next update. And as for the other 3, I do believe I've used this 13 times. 20 uses on this one, 20 uses on this one is the goal. I think I will be able to reach my goal by next time on this shade as well. So most likely I'm going to be rolling out these 2 or the shades from these 2 palettes next time. But this time around, I am going to be rolling out the shade in this palette, which I did roll in last time, but I only had a usage goal of 10 uses on the eyeshadow in here, mainly because it's a more bolder, colorful eyeshadow, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to incorporate this into too many looks. But luckily it was a very easy color to use. It's the matte orange shade in the middle right there, and I loved this shade. It is actually what I have on my crease today. This is what it looks like swatched, very opaque and pigmented. And yeah, I managed to use this 9 times. Again, my usage goal was 10 times. So I have 1 more use left. I'm gonna use this first thing tomorrow, but I have decided to roll this out and roll in a new shade this time around. And before we do that, I'm just gonna show you the shades that I also combined the shades in my project with. I just like to choose a few singles to work on to just make sure I use my single eyeshadows this year as well. So I just chose the red shade, matte red shade from Inglot, and the light blue shade from Inglot with some tiny specks of glitter, like silver glitter in it. And I managed to use the blue eyeshadow once and the red eyeshadow, I'm not sure, I think 2 or 3 times. The usage of the Inglot Gold is the only one I'm tracking this year when it comes to singles, and I've used this 8 times so far this year. So here you can see what that one looks like. So I'm gonna be switching these 2 eyeshadows out as well. But first I just want to show you, I have 4 eyeshadow looks this time around that I want to show you. Like I said, I didn't do too many, and the ones that I did to do was kind of repetitive and very, very simple. But let me show you the ones that were a little bit more, I don't know, interesting. The first one here, I've just used the Tati palette. Basically, I can see that I could have done a better job blending the eyeshadows, but all in all, I did like this eyeshadow look. And then I have a eyeshadow look where I used the Huda Beauty, the peach shade, and the Inglot Gold, and the orange, matte orange shade from the BeautyBay palette. Actually, the Inglot Red shade as well, just a little bit in the outer part of the eye. I just think the orange and yellow shades on my eyes really enhances my blue eyes, so I really like that. I really enjoyed using that orange shade. Then I mixed the Tati, or the shades from the Tati palette, including the Metallic Rituals, with the Inglot Gold eyeshadow. And again, I really enjoyed that one too. And then lastly, I did just a more purple eyeshadow look with the Huda Beauty Peach eyeshadow in the crease, and then I went on with the Rose Gold from BeautyAct on the lid. And then I actually tried, I was just so curious about this purple, like matte purple shade from the Bright Matte palette. And so I just applied a little bit of that in the outer part of the eye or eyelid. And yeah, I really like that one. So those were just the ones that I felt like were interesting enough to show you guys. But now it's time to use my Pretty Random app and roll in a new shade to work on. So I have 209 eyeshadows within my palettes. So let's randomize. Okay. 132. That seems to be in the Milani palette again, 132. That is actually, let me turn this around so you don't have to see the mirror. That's actually this middle shade, matte, sort of, I wouldn't say, like a cool, really light purpley pink shade. It's probably what I would typically use as to set my eyeshadow primer with, or more almost like I used the peach shade in my Huda Beauty palette, kind of like a transition shade or a light crease shade is probably what I would use this for, but we'll see. Maybe I can use it as a lid shade as well, maybe with some of these shades. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Maybe not as fun and exciting, but at least I get to work on a new shade. So let me go into my singles collection and see if I can find some new shades to work on there. So hold on. Alright, so I found two new shades. This green trio from Inglot in number 109. Along with the gold shade. And then Award Season is the shade name from H&M. The container is broken, but it's just a beautiful metallic purpley, cool purple shade. And there we have all of them swatched. So except from that matte orange shade that I rolled out, these are all the eyeshadows that I'm going to be working on this time around. Oh, and if I didn't say, I'm going to be working on that new shade that I rolled in from the Milani palette. I'm going to do a usage goal of 20 on that one. I think it's going to be a fairly easy shade to use and incorporate into most looks. I can even just apply this all over my lid when I'm not really looking to do much of an eyeshadow look, just to even out the skin tone, kind of. So I think this is going to be fairly easy to use. And that's it. That is my update for Pan Those Eyeshadows this time around. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!